Cambridge Street LLC. With me is Dr. Mortezi, the owner of the building, also signed contractor. As you know, this is our third trip here. We're trying to work this thing through. Just passed around a proposed sign that my client and his signed contractor put together. The dimensions of that is smaller, actually, than the dimensions requested in our variance. As you recall, it was single letters before initially started as internally lit. What you see there, and I'm going to let the sign contractor give you the details, but it's non-internally lit. We have the goose light lamps over it. We have some examples of that. But basically, they're the colonial type that you'll see on some of the other buildings up and down Cambridge Street that have been built recently. But that will not be internally lit. It'll just be lit by the overhanging lamps. The lettering on the sign is 12 inches high. The whole sign itself, the envelope of the sign is 19 inches high, but the actual letters within the envelope are 12 inches. So there'll be about 3 inches, give or take, on the top and the bottom of each letter of the white area. If you want to just explain what the sign, I believe it's aluminum.
Yeah, the sign is aluminum, and we have a picture frame around, and we try to match the picture frame with the logo, one color, which is the orange. The aluminum is going to be baked aluminum, and the letters will be individual letters about 1 inch thick. That will be installed on the sign of the aluminum with the 30-year-olds, so we don't penetrate the building with so many holes to make the damage.
Okay.
So that's, again, as the board knows, we've been kind of going back and forth and trying to work our way towards an acceptable solution. So this is what we'd ask the board to consider this evening. As you can see in that proposal, the insignia part will be incorporated into that sign. It won't be a separate item. Still, as we've discussed, would be the proposed insignia at the front of the building, which would be internally lit. I think we talked about that last time as well. But what you're seeing in front of you is the KinderCare side of the building, and incorporated the insignia into the flag.
Did we approve the front sign last time?
No, nothing. No
nothing.
actions have been taken yet. But that's what we've been discussing since the get-go as far as the front. So with that, Mr. Chairman, we'll obviously be happy to address any concerns or answer any questions.
All right, Adam, is that with you? Any questions?
No questions, but a lot of the changes that we asked for were made, so I like this version a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm on board as well. I don't care whether you go with that orange one or the reddish one, whichever one you want. But, thanks for your patience and listening to us, and sorry you had to come back 3 times, but, it's a great compromise.
Yeah, it's all good, thank you, and I like this one.
Which one's the yellow?
That's it, yellow.
Yellow one?
I think
Or
that's the one.
the oranges, because it would match the copper roof, so I think it would be a better fit.
Yeah, I think when the first time I sent them to the chair at the end of last week, there was a red and an orange.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of focused on the orange, the yellow orange.
Okay, with either one of them, so.
All right.
Nothing further.
Charles?
I don't have any questions. I think it looks pretty good now, so. Good with it.
I'm good.
All right. I hate to do this, but I have to ask. Remind me, how wide is the trim board there?
The trim board, the orange, you mean?
No, the existing trim board.
It's 12 inches.
Okay.
12 inch.
And the letters are down to 12 inches now?
That's correct, yeah.
Do you need all the other stuff? I don't have a problem with it. Let me start there.
No,
I'm just asking the question.
The potential problem, and I think you touched on it, if you fasten the letters individually to that 12-inch strip, it's going to beat the crap out of the side of that's a lot of holes going into the siding.
Okay,
By putting that board there, we fasten that, and then we fasten the letters to that without putting a whole bunch of holes in the side of the building.
okay,
That's the main reason behind that. It's expensive siding that's there, and once you start putting holes in it, then it's only a matter of time before things start to leak or whatever.
I just had to ask. All right, so I think the only other thing is the detail on the lights. I know, Tom, you sent that to me kind of late.
Yeah.
You don't have a printout of that by any
I
chance,
got
do
a
you?
printout of one here, and I only have one copy of it. I printed some off of mine's not a color one, so it's hard to really tell. But
They're gonna be black, right?
it's black, yeah, and I sent, there were 3 different ones on, that Dr. Yazdi's contractor had given him off of some catalog or something. And any one of the 3 are fine with us. And I did forward that email to the chair. So if there's one in particular that you like better than the other, I think on the attachment part of it, they seem to have some sort of number.
Yeah. I mean, unless anyone has another opinion, I'm fine with that one. That one's submitted. We can just put it in the record and go with that one.
Okay,
Unless
that's
anyone
fine.
has,
No,
okay.
that's fine.
That makes it a little easier. They're all kind of the same.
They all look the same.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's just, Joe Allen. All right, unless anyone else, well, the public hearing is still open, I believe.
Yep.
So, if there's anyone here that would like to speak in favor or against this proposal? Seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second?
Motion is made and seconded to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. All right, take a motion, just gotta make sure we reference the right picture, I guess.
Make a motion to approve 131 Cambridge Street for 2 signs. First sign is the proposed insignia sign. It is 36 inches in height and 43 inches in width. Approve the wall sign to read Children's Dental with the Burlington Children's Dental logo. Between 19 inches in height and 180 inches in length. All black lettering. And gooseneck lighting. The lighting is submitted with the application. Condition of no other signs, even if by right, and not to exceed 90 lumens per square foot.
Okay, the motion is made. Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, members of the board, for your patience.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. The next item on our agenda is a new hearing for 10 Alcine. This is a variance. Someone like to read this into the record for us?
Sure. The petition of Michael Brogan for property located at 10 Alcine Lane, as shown on map number 8, parcel 40, on the Burlington zoning bylaws. The applicant is seeking a variance to construct a garage. The addition is in violation of the Burlington zoning bylaw, Article 5, Section 5.2.0. The side setback requires a 15-foot setback, and the proposed garage is 13.1 feet at the left side of the porch, as shown on plans filed on December 30th, 2019, and a copy of which is on file with the clerk's office.
All right, please introduce yourself and give us an overview of your proposal.
Hi, I'm Mike Brogan, and I just want to put in a garage in for Jewel Curtin on 10 Alcine. It's just a simple garage. She's a woman getting a little older now, and her driveway isn't quite level, and it would improve her quality of life greatly to have a garage attached to her house. That's pretty much it, plain and simple garage, no second floor on it, just no heat, just electric, garage door, in the, to get in the front, 9x7, a door to get out the back, 2 windows on the side. And it pretty much just extends the house the way it is now, when you see it on the picture, another 15 feet longer.
All right. Jim, any questions?
So I did drive by today, so with this addition, there's an additional, I'm sorry, 13?
13.1.
No, that's what it will leave you with, to the property
Right.
line, 13.1.
On the side, the side, okay. So it didn't look like there was that much room there, but,
Just to follow up with that, do you know if there was a tree line there, I think, at one point, and it's kind of like a shrub line maybe now? Do you know if that's the property line, or?
I think that there's like a runoff that's down there between the two properties, and just kind of like, I didn't notice any trees there, to be honest with you. It's been,
It's a big, huge pine tree right in the middle of it, that I would have assumed was the line, but
Yeah,
without a
it-
certified plot plan,
Well, this is certified.
it doesn't show there. Actually, I took a picture. Might show what's in that property line.
you see that?
All right. Well, we can keep going. Jim, any other questions?
Yeah.
All right, Charles?
Do you have any other plans that kind of depict the whole?
Well, I didn't know, I've never done a variance before, and I didn't know if this can go one way or the other, and I didn't want to spend her money on an architect with plans for a building she couldn't build. So I kind of just did this. This is all I have right now.
Okay. I guess my other question at the moment is, part of the 40A variance process is the applicant has to prove a hardship to receive the variance. And I was wondering if you could kind of speak to that a little bit.
She's, I'm not sure how old she is, but she's not very young. She lives alone, and like I said, you can see on the picture there with her car in the driveway, it's not level. And it would improve her quality of life, not having to shovel off her car anymore in the winter, at least in the winter months. Improving your quality of life would be a good thing. It's a simple garage, I mean.
So hardship would be something structural, topography of the land.
I'm sorry?
There are certain parameters for hardship. It is either the topography of the land, whether there's ledge, for example, you couldn't put it somewhere else. A structure, if there was an issue with the structure, this.
If there was?
Yeah. But this one.
I don't know. I mean, until I know that there's the possibility of a permit to be issued, I'd call DigSafe right away, see what's in the ground. And then the excavator that I have coming would kind of determine what's there, once he starts scraping the ground. I mean, it's a garage, so there's not going to be a basement of any kind. It's just going to be a slab. Be a frost wall foundation with a slab.
All right, that's all I have for the moment.
Mark?
I don't have anything right now. I'm reserving.
John?
So you're the builder, you don't live there.
I don't live there, no, she just hired me to get this done.
She's just hiring you to get this done. All right. So just to expand a little bit on what Charles is saying, a hardship, you have to have a hardship in order to get a variance. And the hardship has to pertain to the land. It can't be personal because she's old or she's sick.
Sure, what would the hardship be?
Maybe there's ledge, you can't put it, you can't put it on a certain side, you had to put it to another or something. Maybe you have ledge, or there's an ease, maybe a gas pipe or gas line or something like that. It's not that this board can't do it, it's just, that's kind of what's required. There is a gray area you can work in, but,
Let's see what the plot plan looks like.
you know,
Shape of the lot.
yeah, shape of the lot, stuff like that. So you might have some of that going on, I don't know.
There's no
From the
doubt.
street, I was there today,
Yeah.
and from the street, because you only, and believe me, I know that the lines don't always line up perfect by telephone poles and stuff, but if you go
Right.
onto that pole there, there is a tree line on it, so I would assume that that would have been the property line. Boy, it looks awfully close to, it looks like it's, you're gonna be closer than 13 feet to the line. That's why normally we would get a plot plan that would show the property lines.
Can I show you this?
Yeah, maybe, if that's not this, is that this?
You have that, right?
That's that.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I mean, that's still what it's showing. It just doesn't look like it is to me, because, all the zoning is for density. And a couple things you have in your favor for me is that the house to the other side was the same,
Sorry,
Norris's
if you don't
house.
mind, just so you're at the microphone when you talk.
Norris's house is set farther, closer to the street. So the houses aren't all lined up in a row. I don't know if it's gonna do anything for and then one more question. Is it gonna be a single-car garage? You're gonna pull
Yes.
straight into it?
Straight into it, one car.
I was wondering if you were gonna come up onto the left and then try to turn it right and make it a two-car garage.
No.
Yeah,
It's a one car.
okay.
It's
So
for
it's a
her.
single-car garage, one level,
One level, no loft.
all right. And it's talking about the porch. I didn't see any porch.
I know, it said a porch in the, when they send the letter out, but there's this little indentation right there. You can see it on the plan. That's her entryway. The rest of it's living room in that front corner.
You're talking about on the building inspector letter, where it said porch?
Right on the, on the building inspector's
Yeah.
letter.
I noticed that too. It said left of the porch.
Yeah, right, to the left of the porch, and I'm like, what?
There's a porch, but, okay, to the left of that.
You're not
Have to go
building a new
past the
porch
room.
in any way.
I'm not gonna add a porch, no.
Well, I'm not, I don't know, I haven't decided yet, but I mean, I'm not definitely against it. There's no neighbors here to speak against it. Do you know, has she spoken to any of the neighbors? Not that,
She said that I wouldn't have any, she said there'd be nobody would say anything. She felt confident that everyone would be fine with it.
well, I mean, the fact that they're not here, it tells me that they're fine with it, so. Yeah, I don't really have any more questions.
Adam?
No questions at this time.
All right. Getting back to some of the other comments about, why you placed it here as opposed, why didn't you try it on the other side of the house?
I think she made her own drawing to show me what she wanted
Okay,
and where she wanted it, and I just made it better as far as what she drew. She wanted it there.
I mean, I'm
Right
not,
now, that's where her driveway is. You can see her car parked in front of the house there, and her driveway goes to the end of her house as it stands. And it's just gonna go a little bit further now.
okay.
So she'll have a little extra parking now.
And the width of how wide did you say the garage door was gonna be?
9 feet wide,
9 feet?
7 feet tall. Typical garage door.
So you have 2 extra feet on either side? I mean, do you need,
Yeah, I mean, we'd make it work. I mean, like, the architect's gonna come and actually draw it up completely, and the entryway to the house, the stairway coming in, we're probably gonna have the entry closer to the front, so that when she pulls all the way in, she'll have more door room to get in and out, and her groceries in and out.
I guess the reason I ask is, the question is could it be 2 feet narrower?
No.
Why?
She wouldn't be able to get out of her car. It's 15 feet, doesn't leave you a lot of room. I mean, you have parking lots out there they're, what are they, 9 feet wide maybe?
9 feet, yeah.
You go to open your door and, you're trying to, she's an older woman, she needs the door probably open all the way, as much as she can get it open. We were squeezing it at 15. Because I didn't want to have to move it forward or backward and then try to wrap it around the house that exists for a stairway. I was going to put the stairway in that 15 by 24 and get it all in there.
Do you know what the elevation change would be? How many steps?
From the inside landing to the
Well,
floor?
yeah,
It's-
well,
It's not
yeah.
poured yet, I'm not exactly sure, but it would probably be about 3 steps.
3 steps, okay. Do you know what the dimension is off the rear corner of the addition to the lot line? It looks like it'd be more than the 13.1, but it's hard to say exactly.
I couldn't tell you. I think that the 13.1 that it leaves you is the tightest spot.
Yeah,
If it's not all the same, it's the tightest spot.
yeah. And just getting back to what a couple of the other members said is like, proving the variance and like why it has to be here, as opposed to maybe pushing it back and maybe it would fit in the setback, or shrinking it up a
You mean
foot.
you don't want to see you don't want to see you don't want to see it up front at all?
No, not necessarily. I understand.
I'm not against putting it out back. She didn't want it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying put it out back where you have to come around.
Right.
I'm just saying, if you pushed it back further, you might get to the point where it still would work and not need a variance at all.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know,
In that tight
Yeah, I
corner.
mean, what we need to look at is to say, why do you need to put this here as opposed to being able to do something else that doesn't require a variance?
Okay, now I'm getting it.
So that's why I'm just kind of putting these things out there to you,
I don't know, maybe it could be pushed back.
right.
The only reason why I didn't go any further than where I am right now, as far as getting, my architect out there and my engineer out there, is because I didn't know if I could go forward with this. If I knew a permit was definitely gonna be coming, I don't have to have it, but at least I know, I don't wanna spend your money.
No, I understand that. I can appreciate that. I mean, I think elevation-wise, we can look at, we know what the garage door is gonna look like. We know I'm gonna assume you're gonna match the existing roof line that's
Yes,
there.
I was just gonna,
Yeah.
if I can
So-
keep it where it is, it was just gonna get 15 feet longer with a garage door.
I mean, from my perspective, and the rest of the board can chime in if they disagree, but I don't know that we need an elevation for this per se, but to know, again, getting back to, maybe the interior dimensions about like where you're gonna have to put the stairs, how many stairs, how much that's gonna fit into the garage, to know that that's why you need a certain amount of space, to know that it can't be moved somewhere else that then wouldn't require a variance, and why you can't put it in those places. These are the types of things we look for.
I could go back to my engineer here who did the survey and see what the rear of that is. How far back would I have to move it to have 15 feet? And
Yeah.
if I can still put it there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what that would do to her, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if she did it this way because she didn't want to take up her yard.
And it could be a matter of that it doesn't, she wouldn't be able to get into the house in any reasonable way if she pushed it
Well,
back.
I'll tell you this, the way, it doesn't show it on that plan, but that side that I'm adding the garage, the rear corner is her bedroom. The front corner is the living room. So if I pushed it back, she'd be entering the garage to her bedroom. I don't know if she would want that.
Okay, so that's a,
Yeah, that's a detail that the floor
Right,
plan
that's a
would
good-
show us.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about it,
I mean, it does look like the back part is farther away from the property line than the front.
It does. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
another
But
2
maybe
feet.
if it's, yeah, right, you don't know how far back you'd have to
Yeah.
go
Right.
in order to do it. What's on the right side? Do you mind if I go?
No, go ahead.
What's on the right side of the house?
On the right side of the house is just some bushes and,
No,
No, in the interior of the house?
oh.
Living
I-
room?
I didn't go through, I have no idea.
The garage could go on the right side of the house without even coming for a variance. Why would you turn it into a non-conforming lot if you can do it
that's,
and keep the lot as a
Because the
conforming lot?
Just because the driveway was already on that side of the house and that's her living
Well,
room.
But her driveway's gonna have to move anyway, right? Because
Well, I was gonna make it more wider.
just
to the-
wider?
And that's her living room, and she enters through that little porch-looking, entryway there, you can see it in the picture. That's, I guess, her living space.
So there's not gonna be, from inside the garage, she's not gonna be able to access her house? She's gonna have to
Yeah.
go out
Through the living room, which is
through
the
her
front
living
corner.
room? So then that's what I'm asking you. On the right side of the house, what's in the front?
I don't know, I haven't been over there.
I'd say we need more information.
I'm presenting this because this is what she asked for. I didn't try to change her mind, I didn't,
No, we understand. We just need a little bit more information to make a judgment to say that you couldn't put it somewhere else, or your reasons, to put it in that location constitute a hardship in our minds or not. So if we could get kind of a layout of the house, just a general,
yeah, I can give you a general, I'll go there and find out,
something with dimensions on it, but something with dimensions on it. Unless someone disagrees, I don't know that we need a stamped plan by an architect, but just something that gives us a layout of the house
Right, and
to say, and the chimney's on the other side, so maybe that's a hindrance for putting it on the other side, just
Yeah.
trying to give you things to look for. But
that's 28.
is there anything else anyone would want to see before, so you can try to get it all in one shot?
I think we just need to see that all your options have been exhausted.
Okay, I
So
understand.
that's
now.
why we could give you a variance, you know what I
I'll
mean?
go to her house and find out what's in that right front corner and see if, that would be, if that's
Yeah,
the
and you need
kitchen
to
or-
see if you could push the garage back where it's gonna end up. If, on the left-hand side, if you pushed it back 5 feet, 10 feet, how that would work, stuff like that. That's what we need to know. We need to see all the options so
This is more information for
we
you.
can
Rick.
give it to you.
Yeah.
You know. Everybody would love to come and get
Yeah,
their decisions
right.
before they go spend the money on their applications, but that's not the way it works.
All right, is there anything else anyone would like to see before we continue?
I'm good.
No?
I have a question, would I have to
Sure.
come to another meeting just like this to show you what the floor plan
Yeah,
was? Or could
yeah.
I just show somebody who,
No, you can submit it in advance, so we can take a chance to look at it. You can send it to Joellen, and she'll copy us, but yeah, we'll have to come back to another hearing. Yep.
well, wouldn't be happening right now anyway?
Not right now, yeah, it'd be 2 weeks.
No, I mean, as far as the job goes, if you'd be okay, I wouldn't be jumping on it like right now. It'd be a springtime thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, take a motion to continue.
Motion to continue to
February 4th?
February 4th?
February 4th?
Second.
Yeah, second.
Motion is made and seconded to continue to February 4th. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 5-0. All right, thank you. See you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
And the more information you can get us, the better. Thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is the minutes from our January 7th meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the minutes from January 7th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0. I think that's it.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Meeting adjourned.